We understand that Arsenal just played their first preseason game, and there is one thing I always like to say about preseason games. I say that it is a game of no consequence, but of course, we understand everything about preseason, and that is why for this particular game, there is an adjustment that was made to it. It is a game between Arsenal and AC Milan. They both played it in Singapore. And for this particular game, they agreed that regardless of what the scoreline is at the end of the 90 minutes, there's going to be a penalty shootout. And of course, there's going to be a trophy. So that is it. That's just it. It's something that we don't really see it very often, but as far as preseason games are concerned, every team that is playing it can decide however they want to do it. And one of those things could also be one thing that Liverpool does perfectly well, which is in the first half, they play 11 players. In the second half of the game, they come up with a completely different 11 set of players. So for this particular one, just to make it clear, Arsenal and AC Milan decided that there is going to be a penalty shootout at the end of the game. And that is why the total score line is showing 6 in favor of Arsenal and 7 in favor of AC Milan. But we'll go deep into all of those. We'll tell you when the goals were scored and what led to which in this particular game. So this is it. This is what you'll be getting in this particular video. Now, before you take a step further, this is the perfect time to tell you to connect with the channel. This channel is fully focused on everything football. It's just a new channel, but I also post shorts on the channel, so get involved, be part of the community. Now let's get fully into the game that was played between Arsenal and AC Milan. The whole first half was played with basically no goals, so the first half ended as a goalless draw, but in the second half, that's where the magic started happening. So Arsenal basically won in normal time by a goal, which was scored by Bukayo Saka. But remember what I told you, for this particular game, regardless of the scoreline, there is surely going to be a penalty shootout. Now, this penalty shootout is as dramatic as you would expect it to be. In fact, if this happens to be a competitive game, let's say you see a penalty shootout like this in a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, or even any European competition, it will surely count as a penalty shootout to remember. But this is a friendly game, so it doesn't really count as much. But let's go deep into it. So in the penalty shootout, Arsenal had Kepa in goal. Now recall that Kepa is a new signing for Arsenal. They just bought him in this particular transfer window, and I believe they bought him for like 5 million. And the Kepa, I remember, the Kepa all of us know in the footballing world, even if he's not the best goalkeeper out there, even if he's not one of the top goalkeepers, when it comes to penalty shootouts, you can't write him off. I'm not even joking. I've seen it several times to know that Kepa is very good in penalty shootouts. So in today's game, Arsenal had him as the man to step up during penalties, and he really impressed. I'm not even gonna lie, he impressed so well. But funny enough, on the other side of the team, talking about AC Milan, in goal they also had a very impressive goalkeeper, Toriani, who I don't know much about him because I mostly focus on the English Premier League and I don't pay enough attention to what happens in every other league. But for this particular game, Toriano really impressed, because here is the thing. The first penalty that was shot was given to Arsenal and Odegaard played, but funny enough, he missed the penalty. In fact, not just a miss, but the penalty was saved. So for the first 5 penalties that were taken, it ended as a 2-2 draw for both sides. Arsenal scored 2, and the other 3 of the penalty were saved by AC Milan's goalkeeper. On the other side of it, AC Milan also conceded 2 goals on penalty. That is from the first 5 penalty shootouts, but their keeper Toriani was able to save 3 penalties. So with that exact scoreline, the penalty shootout just had to go on until a winner emerges, and that is exactly what happened. Each of the team played the next 3 penalties and scored, making the scoreline 5-5. But that was the point when Arsenal missed a penalty and AC Milan buried theirs to make it 5-6. And whatever agreement AC Milan had with Arsenal before going into this, the outcome of that is that the normal time gameplay ended in favor of Arsenal, who won by 1-0, and the penalty shootouts ended in favor of AC Milan. But remember what I said, preseason fixtures are inconsequential. That is why, for the key takeaways in this particular game, the first question I'm asking out of curiosity is, what does a preseason trophy mean? What is the significance? What is it all about? Is it a form of charity or what? Because it's not something we see very often, but we are seeing it now. And I'm very curious to understand the idea behind it, because Arsenal doesn't seem to be taking it lightly. There is a trophy celebration after the penalty shootout, and all of them are celebrating it with their fans over there in Singapore. So there must be some sort of significance attached to that particular trophy. So if you know anything about it, let us know in the comment section. Now, the next takeaway is about Bukayo Saka. Saka has been one of the most potent goal scorers for Arsenal in recent years, and it seems like regardless of what they do in this particular window, Saka is still going to be at the top of their goal scoring chart going into next season. So it shows how significant he is for them. Situations like that makes me wonder if Arsenal fans are a bit worried about that. So the truth is that whatever Arsenal have to do to make sure they tie Saka down to the club for the next couple of years, they need to do it, and they need to be very serious about it. And then hopefully their new signing, especially the likes of Victor Gyökeres, would be able to help ease the burden of someone like Saka. Because if Gyökeres comes in and he hits the ground running and start banging in goals, it will surely be more beneficial to Arsenal than to just have the goals coming from one side of the pitch. So that aside, the final observation from this particular game is about Kepa Arrizabalaga, who we all know to be very good when it comes to penalty shootouts, and he really impressed again today. So I know he's not coming in to be a number one, but if you're having him as your number two in a squad like that, and he's coming in for a very low fee like 5M, then it's surely a good signing for you. So that's it. This opening fixture for you guys in the preseason is not really a bad one. It's actually a very good one, considering the fact that it's a game of no consequence, like I always call it. Well, we'll see what happens for the rest of the preseason. So that's it on this particular one. See you on the next one.